simple majority. So these different types of majorities, please understand this concept first. There are different types of majorities, and these different types of majorities are used for different purposes. Types of majority are used for different purposes. Okay, they are used for different purposes. As I've told you, the purpose is to amend the constitution. So these purposes are basically to make changes, either to make changes in the constitution, that is amendment, or different provisions are provided in the constitution for different other purposes. So other purposes such as other purposes includes passing of bill, right? Other purposes includes removal of important constitution office holders, such as removal of president, removal of judges, removal of chief election commissioner, right? Other purposes to pass special type of bills or special type of laws. Fourth, to pass different emergency provisions or to proclaim emergency under Article 352, 356, 360. So these are the different types or the purposes for which emergency is used. Okay, and for these purposes, or let's say fourth, fifth, making changes in the name or boundary of states, making changes in the name or boundary of states. So these are the various purposes highlighted in the constitution for which we require different types of majority. So on this note, let's go through. Sixth would be formation of government. Sixth would be formation of government. I am sure you have heard that in parliament, the majority party needs 272 seats to win the election, right? 272 or more, that is called the magic number. But how do we come to this number, 272? What is the basis of calculation of this 272 for Lok Sabha? What is the basis? All of this is provided under the Constitution of India. Okay, so let's go through these different provisions here. So first is very simple majority. So it says it refers to a majority of the members of the house present and voting. And see, this type of majority we need to understand on the basis of example. For example, total strength is to 545 of Lok Sabha. Let's say on a given day, number of members present are 290. So votes needed for any law to be passed by simple majority would be 290 divided by 2 plus 1. So this is simple majority. Number of members present and voting, that is half plus 1, that is the requirement of simple majority. So let's see where these simple majorities are required under the Constitution of India. Passing of ordinary bills, money bills and financial bills, passing of adjournment motions, etc. So for all these purposes, simple majority is required. What is the meaning of simple majority? That whoever the number of people present on a given day, uska half plus 1. Okay, so it does not include the members who are absent. So absentees are not included. Absentees not included, and it does not matter also. please understand there is a concept of quorum. Okay, quorum means the minimum number which should be present in the Lok Sabha for which or based on which proceedings can continue, and the minimum quorum is 10% of the total strength, and hence the quorum for Lok Sabha comes to 55. So if there are 55 at least members, then voting can take place or proceedings can take place. Similarly, election of speaker and deputy speaker of Lok Sabha takes place through this concept of simple majority. Okay, election of deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, same, simple majority. Passing of a resolution by Lok Sabha for disapproving the continuance of national emergency, this is also done by simple majority under Article 352. Approval of imposition of President's rule under Article 356, done by simple majority. And then approval of proclamation of financial emergency, also under Article 360. So these are the different types or provisions under the Constitution of India whereby the type of majority or type of voting required is simple majority. Are you following this, Krishna? Amrutesh, I hope you understand, correct? Then comes absolute majority. Now see, there is a difference between absolute majority and effective majority. Let's understand this. Now absolute majority says it refers to a majority of the total membership of the house and includes vacant seats or absentees. Total membership. It doesn't matter who is absent, who is present, whether the seat is vacant or not. When does a seat becomes vacant? When either the member has resigned or the member has died, or for whatever reason the person present is not there. So in total membership of the house, it includes both vacant seats as well as absentees. और कैसे calculate करते हैं इसको? For example, since the total strength of Lok Sabha is 543, the absolute majority for Lok Sabha is 543 divided by 2 plus 1 is equal to 272. Can you find a magical number here? So what is the type? ये क्वेश्चन कभी भी आ सकता है आपके प्रीलिम्स में कि for formation of government for the general election, what type of majority is required? Most people will commit a mistake and they will end up writing simple majority. It's not simple majority, it's absolute majority. ठीक है? And what are the various examples? To form the government at center and in states, to defeat no confidence motion, and also acts as a component of special majority. ठीक है? Are you following absolute majority? So you'll remember next time, formation of government, defeating no confidence motion requires absolute majority. Effective majority. Now it refers to a majority of the total membership of the house excluding the vacant seats. अगर कोई seat vacant है, if the seats are vacant, then they will not be included while counting the votes. How it is calculated? For example, suppose 25 seats are vacant out of the total number of seats in Lok Sabha. So in this case, effective majority is equal to 543 minus 25 divided by 2 is equal to, or plus 1 is equal to 260. So basically, whatever the seats, the number of seats, whatever they are vacant, they will be subtracted from the original number of seats. कृष्णा, CSAT कर रहे हो? +1 का मतलब वही होता है. Suppose 240 members are there in Rajya Sabha. Suppose, चलो 250 लेते हैं. Overall 250 ही है. 250 members in Rajya Sabha. Okay, 20 are absent. How much remains? 250 minus 220 is 230, right? So to calculate absolute effective majority, it would be 230 divided by 2 plus 1. So it would be how much? 115 plus 1 is equal to 116. This is the meaning of +1. This is your effective majority here when 20 seats are vacant, not absent. 20 seats are vacant. Krishna, how do you understand meaning of +1? सिंपल मैथ्स, हाफ का हाफ करो, उसमें एक और जोड़ दो, तभी तो मेजॉरिटी आ पाएगा. हाउ विल यू कैलकुलेट द मेजॉरिटी? यू हैव टू ऑलवेज ऐड 1. ओके, सो दिस इज योर इफेक्टिव मेजॉरिटी. प्लीज क्विकली कैलकुलेट absolute majority for this number. Tell me the absolute majority for, if Rajya Sabha has 250 members, then what would be the absolute majority for Rajya Sabha? Quickly. This is pure CSAT, nothing else. And I'll tell you why I'm discussing this. This year only a question has been asked in your prelims. Yes, what would be the absolute majority here? $126. Perfect. I hope all of you understand how it is 126. Simple, 250 divided by 2 plus 1, because we include both vacant seats and also absentees in total, in absolute majority. See this? And includes vacant seats or absentees. And where effective majority is used, it is used for removal of vice president in Rajya Sabha, for removal of deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and removal of speaker and deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay? Is it clear? Is this helping you, this bifurcation, this diagram, to make you further understand? And what are these? We will only be able to understand when we'll start the chapters on parliament and how the parliament functions. No. Abstain कर दिया तो vote नहीं किया ना. See, this concept of abstain from voting is mostly, Fatima, available, understood mostly under international law than under our law. So let's say someone did not vote, so it's not counted as a vote. Would be considered as a neutral thing. Now comes special majority. Now please understand certain aspects regarding special majority. Please, special majority. One more thing, please know this. In Lakshmikant or in any standard textbook, जब आप पढ़ोगे, even NCERT, you'll come across these terms like simple majority, effective majority, absolute majority, total membership, or special majority. But these terms are not mentioned in the constitution. I am telling you outrightly, these terms like simple majority, effective majority, special majority, especially these terms are not mentioned in the constitution. Rather, how they becomes operative, that is mentioned. So these terms are not mentioned in the constitution. So this can also be asked in your exam. These terms are not mentioned in the constitution. Please understand this. Clear? Coming to special majority, it has 4 types: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. Type 1 deals with Article 249. Type 2 deals with Article 368. Type 3 deals with Article 368 plus entrenched provision. And type 4 deals with impeachment of president. And yes, these 4 types are different. They operate in a different manner. Okay? These 4 types are different. So let's understand these different types of special majority. So how many types of special majority are there? There are 4 types of special majority. Don't get confused. If you read anywhere, ठीक है, this is done by special majority. Think, कौन सा special majority? बहुत सारे special majority. This is also a place where student often get confused. Very easily UPSC can lay a trap for you just simply writing this is done by special majority. Think. So let's go through these different types of special majority. पहला क्या है? Type 1. Special majority as per Article 249 requires a majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting. Just an example. It simply says, let's say if there are 99 members, for the sake of calculation, if there are 99 members, then what would be the Type 1 special majority? 2/3 of the members present and voting. How much would be? Correct? Right. So Article 249, power of Parliament to legislate with respect to matter in state list in national interest. So generally Parliament does not have power to make laws on state list, but under Article 249 in national interest Parliament can do so. But for that purpose a law needs to be introduced in the Council of States, that is in Raj Sabha, and must be passed by what type of majority? Type 1 majority. So type 1 majority mentioned under Article 249 requires majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting. We'll discuss this more elaborately obviously when we'll take up Article 249 and associated matters. But please understand that type 1 majority mentioned under Article 249 requires majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting. This is important. Present and voting. Next, special majority under Article 368. I think this is what you were asking yesterday, Krishna, right? So type 2 is a type of majority mentioned under Article 368. What does Article 368 says? Requires a majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting supported by more than 50% of the total strength of the House. And here the word generally used is total membership of the House and as in plus 2/3 of the members present and voting. So this is your type 3 special majority mentioned under Article 368. Obviously, type of majority required to pass a normal constitutional amendment, and this type of majority is also required not only for constitutional amendment but also for removal process of Supreme Court, High Court judge, CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General and CEC. ठीक है, सेम ही प्रोसेस है. Clear? Krishna, is this clear now? Amrutesh, Fatma. So, to pass a constitutional amendment bill that does not affect federalism, removal of judges of Supreme Court, High Court, and removal of CEC and CAG. ठीक है. Now comes type 3. Type 3 में कुछ नहीं है, बस ये जो type 2 था, type 3 is equal to type 2 plus this. It needs to be passed by half of state legislatures or at least half. मतलब अगर how many states are there in India? How many states? 28. So it must be passed by at least 14 states. अब स्टेट किस टाइप के मेजोरिटी से पास करेंगे इसको? स्टेट इसको पास करेंगे सिंपल मेजोरिटी से. स्टेट इसको पास करेंगे सिंपल मेजोरिटी से. स्टेट विल पास दिस बाय सिंपल मेजोरिटी. ठीक है. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाई? दिस एक्स्ट्रा cushion, extra protection is given because it affects powers of state also, and hence approval of at least 50% of the states are required. And what are these manners? What are these matters? And these are called entrenched provision. What are these? Manner of election of the president. If there has to be a change, an amendment in the manner of the election procedure of the president, then it must be passed by type 2 plus at least half of the state legislature should also approve it. Extent of executive power of the union and states. Supreme Court and High Courts, anything associated with Supreme Court and High Court requires this because it is a federal feature. Distribution of legislative, administrative and taxing powers, basically all the relations between center and states, any aspect. Representation of states in parliament, an amendment in Article 368 itself. So if you have to amend Article 368 itself, you require this type of amendment. ठीक है? Now quickly tell me, I am giving you this point that GST bill, when Constitution 101st Amendment bill was passed regarding GST, 101st it was, yeah, then it required type 3 majority, had to be approved by half of the state legislature. My question is, why do you think this type of majority was required to pass the GST bill by the central government? ऐसा क्या था GST में? Why was that needed? Yes, please. Anyone? Basic baat. See, always know the basics. Always ask the basic questions. It's not the complex matter which kills us, it's the basics which actually kills us. Earlier, state had power to collect VAT और sales tax. ये power center को नहीं था. Center did not had this power to collect VAT or sales tax. Center earlier had power to collect service tax and then appropriate the proceeds with the states. But states did not have power to collect service tax. Now GST regime, जो GST regime था, it envisaged a mechanism whereby both center and states needed to collect both these taxes. That is VAT. Center also you have to collect sales tax and of course service tax to thai. And similarly for states. तो स्टेट के पास तो पहले सेल्स टैक्स का पावर था ही, बट सर्विस टैक्स का पावर नहीं था. एंड हेंस टू गिव both center and states to collect, for center to collect sales tax and for states to collect service tax. This type of amendment was required because this also required an amendment in union list regarding powers under central list and state list. and also concurrent list. Since it affected center-state financial relations, which is also one of the entrenched provision, that's why along with type 2 majority, 50% of state ratification was also needed. Clear? Basics, absolute basics I'm telling you. How center collects tax, how GST is there, what are the different aspects of GST compensation funds, we'll discuss later when we'll talk about GST or the financial relations. वो भी पढ़ना ज़रूरी है because basics we need to know. But is this point clear? You generally don't get this under any books. Okay. So are you okay? And type 4 majority is removal of precedent or impeachment of precedent. And क्या है इसमें? Special majority as per Article 61 requires a majority of not less than 2/3 of the total membership of the House. So it is total membership of the House. What is the total membership of the House? Quickly. This is your type 4 majority. How much? Calculate करो. $396. Sure? $543, $250. How much? $743, $793, $397. ठीक है, somewhere around. So no absentees needed or no absentees recorded. No absentees or vacant seats. None of them are counted. ठीक है, क्लियर है? Different types of majority. Let's move further. This is your question asked in Prelims 2025. Now quickly answer this. Question is, consider the following subjects under the Constitution of India. List 1, Union List in the 7th schedule. Second, extent of executive power of a state. Third, conditions of the governor's office. The question is, for a constitutional amendment with respect to which of the above, ratification by legislatures of not less than 1/2 of the states is required before presenting the bill to the President of India for assent. Is it relatable for whatever we have discussed? कृष्णा, इतना जल्दी आंसर नहीं करते, थोड़ा पढ़ते हैं आराम से. ये गलती नहीं करना एग्जाम में. Read carefully. It's a UPSC question. It has some trick. And by the way, why did you come to the conclusion B? 2 and 3? Give me reasons. So let's take it step by step. Is first an entrenched provision. Basically simple question ये है कि it is asking which of them is an entrenched provision requiring type 3 special majority. Simple. Does first point requires a special majority? Any amendment in Union List in the 7th schedule? See, unless you answer, there is no point of this class then. Please interact. कोई फायदा नहीं है, trust me. I will stop taking classes if you do not interact. just now I explained you about the GST thing. Do you think any changes in list 1 or the union list needs a ratification by at least half of the state legislatures? Yes. So 1 is correct. Second, extent of executive power of the state. Let's go through the provision again. Extent of executive powers of the union and states. See, can you see this, what is written here at least? Yes. Conditions of governor's office. कहाँ लिखा है ये? कहाँ है? गवर्नर के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं है. Again, Krishna, you are hurrying with the answer. Don't go for the answer. Go for the reason. Answer is not important. The reason with which you come to your conclusion is important. A, B, C, D is not important currently. You have a lot of time to develop, to give various mock tests. As of now, the purpose why I am showing you these previous year's questions is to make you understand the mind of UPSC. How UPSC plays trick with you. How it lays trap for you. You have to understand those traps and avoid those traps. Okay. Nowhere here there is any mention of the governor. So very easily, if you remember, then you can cross this. So what are the options left? 1 and 2. कौन सा है? A.